Welcome to Practice Easy English. Gardening action verbs in English with sentences. Sow. To plant seeds in the soil. It's time to sow the seeds. We sowed some vegetables today. Plant. To put seeds or plants into the ground to grow. Can you help me plant these flowers? We planted some herbs last weekend. Water. To pour water on plants to help them grow. Don't forget to water the plants. I watered the garden this morning. Prune. To cut off dead or overgrown branches or stems. It's time to prune the rose bushes. I pruned the tree yesterday. Weed. To remove unwanted plants from the garden. We need to weed the garden beds. I spent an hour weeding today. Dig. To break up and move soil with a tool. Let's dig a hole for the new tree. He dug up the old roots. Hoe. To use a hoe to break up soil or remove weeds. I need to hoe the vegetable patch. She hoed the soil before planting. Mulch. To cover the soil with a layer of material to retain moisture. We should mulch around the plants. I mulched the garden beds. Fertilize. To add nutrients to the soil to help plants grow. Did you fertilize the plants? I fertilized the flowers last week. Harvest. To gather ripe crops from the garden. It's time to harvest the tomatoes. We harvested some cucumbers. Transplant. To move a plant from one place to another. I need to transplant these seedlings. We transplanted the flowers to a bigger pot. Compost. To use decayed organic material as fertilizer. I compost kitchen scraps for the garden. We should compost those leaves. Rake. To gather leaves or smooth soil with a rake. Can you rake the leaves? I raked the garden path. Trim. To cut off small parts of a plant to shape it. Can you trim the hedge? I trimmed the bushes yesterday. Graft. To join parts of two plants so they grow as one. He learned how to graft apple trees. We grafted a new branch onto the tree. Deadhead. To remove dead flowers from a plant to encourage new growth. You should deadhead the roses. I deadhead the marigolds. Aerate. To introduce air into the soil. We need to aerate the lawn. I aerated the garden beds. Cultivate. To prepare and use soil for growing plants. Let's cultivate this area for flowers. She cultivated the vegetable garden. Repott. To move a plant to a bigger pot. We need to repot the cactus. I repotted the fern. Stake. To support a plant with a stick or rod. Stake the tomatoes to help them grow. We need to stake the young trees. Propagate. To reproduce plants by cuttings or seeds. I want to propagate these succulents. She propagated new plants from cuttings. Spray. To apply liquid, usually pesticide or water, to plants. Don't forget to spray the roses. I sprayed the plants with water. Sprout. To begin to grow from a seed. The seeds are starting to sprout. We watched the beans sprout in a week.